Now I'd like to bring up your mayor, Bob Hall. Mayor Reed.
Thank you. I think first of all, I just want to make an announcement that we have our food distribution is set up at Boles Creek. Great Northern's handling that for us. We have toiletries at the old laundry on Premier West, and also the Salvation Army is helping us out with our clothing at the old the building behind the Mercantile. I think it was the K building, but we're in business. At 10 o'clock tomorrow, food distribution will happen. I was asked the prayer subject for tonight, and I couldn't do it, but just because I'm overwhelmed. And it's about my spirit. I was thinking about what am I going to say? Well, I'm on the way up here. I had to tell Governor Brown that I'm going to a meeting. I can't talk to you right now. I'm also having a hard time with emotion, and it's a good emotion. I'd like to. I watched a movie the other night called American Beauty. There was a kid in there that says, "Sometimes I just can't stand the beauty. There's so much beauty in the world." And I look back on my life, and first 38 years of my life, I had no concept of what the human spirit was. I knew about my spirit, or I thought I knew about my spirit, but this human spirit it's overwhelming. It truly is. And there's we've had so much help from so many people, and we've thanked so many, but this isn't the meeting for that. We've got work to do ahead of us, but we are engaged doing it. But I want to just say, if I can, one short story that we all know about the rivalry between Mount Shasta and Weed, the blue versus the green, and all that for years and years. I had one of the firefighters that lived, or Cal Fire people that lived in Mount Shasta told me today that his 10-year-old daughter was working on, had a group of girls working on a poster that said, "The Mount Shasta Cubs love the Weed Cubs."
Now I'd like to bring up your police chief, Martin Nicholas.
I'd like to thank you for being here as well. It's been a very trying experience for all of us. I'm sure that we're all ready for this event to be over with. Unfortunately, we still have quite a bit of work to do, and I can say I appreciate how everybody here and everybody that has been present over the last 4 days has been lending a hand to all of us to get through this. The biggest part of what we've seen over the last few days is that Siskyou County and we, as a family, we're all a family, and we all need each other to kick in and help out. The most important thing that I got to say today is that we worked on a repopulation plan, which means we're working on a plan to get you back into your homes. And have an opportunity to tell you that we've set up a pre-plan, and that plan is going to be in existence and start at 10 o'clock in the morning. We're going to be in a position where we can start getting you back into your homes. What's important, though, is that you understand that we are only allowing you as residents back into that location. Nobody else is going to be in there. We are going to have people checking identification, checking personalities and faces to make sure we got the right people going in there. There is still a security issue. There's still a hazard issue that we need to address. So if I could just give you an idea, the plan is developed really in two areas. And if you look at the map, you've got the peak area and you've got the gray area outside of that. The peak area is considered within the fire perimeter, and we're going to allow local residents primary in there from the hours of 7 a.m. till 9 or 7 p.m. each night. The reason for that is you don't need to be in there after dark. There's still a lot of hazard there. There's a lot of trip. There's a lot of other issues that are there that we need to be cautious of. Everyone else that's inside of an impacted area of the fire will be allowed in there and will be allowed to stay in there. The time, as I said, is 10 a.m. in the morning. You will have 2 entry points into that location. If you are going into the high school area as an example, you will be at North Davis. That will be the only way that you'll get into your neighborhood. If you're going into Asia Valley, you'll be at the Railroad and Lincoln Avenue intersection where that roadblock is, and we'll get you into your home. And when you get in there, be careful. Be very careful. We will be there with plenty of fire personnel, police personnel, and I hope everything is safe. And just realize that we're not over yet, but it's a start.
I'd like to bring up from CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 4, Brent Stanglin and Jack Piccinini, our safety officers, and they'll go over a little safety briefing for you for tomorrow.
Thank you, Steve. Good evening. My name is Brent, and I am one of the safety officers with Jack. We're partners on Incident Management Team 4, and we provide safety for all the folks on the incidents, and that's a huge responsibility. Tomorrow, you get to be a part of that. And first of all, I just want to thank each of you for allowing us, Jack and myself and our team, to do our job, to allow our folks to be safe, and then to allow you to come back in tomorrow. So we're going to have a little bit of fun right now. I brought some props, and we're going to go over those and kind of show you some of the basics that you already know, but I want to remind you what to have with you when you're going in tomorrow. So what is this?
Mask.
Dust mask, right? I want to make sure that this dust mask gets worn by as many of you as possible tomorrow, okay? I can't force you to do it, but you're going to go into a hazard environment, and when you go into that environment, you step off of the roadway into structures that have been damaged or destroyed. There's a lot of toxic material and hazards that are associated with that. In the fire service, we wear these, we call these N95 masks, because that's what they are. You can get them at your local hardware store. We have a ton in the back. We're working with Red Cross to get more. We have more as well, so you should be able to get these, no problem. So again, what is this?
Dust mask.
Mask, all right. I got 20 of them for you and your closest friends. You can hand this back to the lady right behind you. Okay, next we have, what are these? Okay, safety glasses. All right, you spoke really loud, so I can go through. Right behind you. So if you could wear those as well, that would be great, and keep your eyes protected. Strong and sturdy. Okay, what are these?
Gloves.
Gloves. All right, right back there in the blue behind you, sir. Pair of white. Okay. Wear gloves. Okay. Keep those going. What are these? These are my $400 pair of Nick's blogger boots. You're not getting those. Wear boots, okay? Wear jeans, no shorts, no flip-flops. All right? I know this is obvious stuff, but I just don't want you in the heat of the emergency to go out there and go in there with flip-flops and shorts on. And then, last but not least, a long-sleeve shirt, okay? So are we clear on the proper attire to wear tomorrow? Okay, good, real good. In the lobby, you're going to see a safety message that Jack and I crafted today. On this safety message are just some basics, like what we just talked about. I want to caution you bringing your kids into those hazard areas. Do your best to find a sitter for them, and also for your pets. Okay, it's not an area for them to be in. It's kind of like a commercial construction area, if you could put that thinking cap on. Traffic in the area. There's going to be fire folks, police officers, utility workers. Again, I said you're a part of us tomorrow, okay? And I know you're coming back to your properties, but we're in there working around. So be heads up. We have a term, it's situational awareness, and it's keeping a good lookout at what's going on at all times. Don't get tunnel visioned in to digging through or sifting through some rubble and find yourself in a situation that compromises your safety. Real concerned about that. There is probably some sellers out there that we don't know about. You probably know about them. Wells. I heard a story of a gentleman that went in to one of the residents and dropped something in a hole that looked like a basement, and he counted to 4 before it hit the bottom. So that tells me there's probably a well in somebody's backyard. So just be aware of that. We don't want anybody falling in and getting hurt. To this point, and I do want to emphasize what Steve said earlier, our firefighter that got burned, they were minor burns. Okay, so he's okay. Got a few days off, but he's going to be all right. So to this point in our incident, we've had an excellent safety record, and I don't want that to change after tomorrow. Jack and myself are going to be available afterwards if you have any questions for us. Again, I recommend that you grab this safety message, take a good hard look at it. There's a lot of things on here that are just basics, but things to remind us to be aware of going in and out of the hazardous environment. Thank you.
So for some closing remarks from your CAL FIRE Unit Chief, Phil Anto.
Good evening. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate you being here and listening to us. And as I drove around the fire and talked to some of our fire crews and talked to some of our law enforcement personnel and talked to some of the public, it's pretty amazing some of the stories that I heard. Stories of loss, stories of heroics, stories of very close calls, and stories of thankfulness that their loved ones were saved. It's pretty amazing. This is a significant event for this community, for this county, for everyone involved, including us. I heard some pretty amazing stories. A young girl on Woodridge Court hopping the fence in the backyard because that was the only way out, running down the hill to Shasta Avenue, telling all the neighbors as she ran away from the fire to get out and escape. Yeah.